Hi, my name's Nick. I'm a data subject and targeted individual in Cape Town, South Africa, and making another video for data subject dialogue videos on a YouTube channel, just to highlight some of the elements and aspects of the abuse of this technology and what's happening in South Africa. I thought I'd talk about parallel intelligence operations because the article written in the Journal of Responsible Technology by a author, Rowena Rodriguez, titled "The Legal and Human Rights Issues of AI," speaks in terms of the application of state surveillance apparatus, which is, well, they warn of parallel intelligence operations. So in terms of state application of artificial intelligent computer capabilities, parallel intelligence operations to the current system or the democratic system would then highlight warning signs because of potential exploitation. And in South Africa, unfortunately, we've seen rampant exploitation of the state facilities, and this incorporates the application of the state surveillance apparatus, which I was exposed to, and I wish to bring awareness around with regards to the requirements of transparency and accountability of the applications, because if one sees the launch of brain-machine interfacing capabilities, specifically around research, in connection with the Human Sciences Research Council and the European Union Medical Research Collaboration, we then saw the development of regulators, slowly but steadily, in terms of the governance of this technology and the convergence of these technologies. So it's been a slow process, but yeah, if we look at former Inspector General of Intelligence, Dr. Sehlomo Marodintwe, highlighting aspects of parallel intelligence operations within the State Security Agency, the South African Police Services, and the Military and Veterans Affairs, then one becomes associated to multiple departments and parallel intelligence operations being conducted within those departments. And as South African citizens, we are possibly exposed to these operations, parallel intelligence operations within the Department of Health. So the governance of mental health in terms of these AI capabilities is something that they're currently researching in South Africa, but are not open and transparent about it, which again highlights warning signs. I personally have a letter from them stating that this technology does not exist from the Department of Health, and then at the same time I produce them published papers by the Department of Health, the Departments of Science and Technology, with regards to these capabilities, and they refuse to comment. So they've given me a letter stating their well, their denial of this technology, and then I must just run with it further. But it's a case of these parallel intelligence operations supporting a belief around state-sponsored torture, when one incorporates things like the Istanbul Protocol, investigations of torture, because after the United Nations, the Special Repertoire on Torture, Cruel, Inhumane, Degrading Treatment and or Punishment, Dr. Niels Meltzer, highlighted in his A/HRC/43/49 report on cyber torture or information terrorism, and how the convergence of these technologies can be incorporated into aspects of cyber torture if they are not held accountable and maintained in an environment of transparency. So that was in 2001, I think it was, and now we are continuing to see, 2020, I believe, maybe, and we are continuing to see the degradation of the moral fabric of South Africa, because many of the people exposed to these abuses in technology are uneducated folk who then follow it. Cyber torture and information terrorism with regards to biotechnology and data subject connectivity to artificial intelligent computers and two-way neural interfacing incorporates the need for transparency and accountability, and with information and information terrorism, these things can escalate to points of torture. And when one looks at the Istanbul Protocol and effective means of investigating elements of torture, then one looks at factors that support a belief a state was involved in an initial torture, and those factors include things like state officials delaying and obstructing investigations, and we've seen that time and time again in South Africa, where elements of the state, such as Minister Bekele, has as such pulled the protection of the anti-gang Colonel Cronje, and led to his assassination, which is incredibly unfortunate, because the application of parallel technology or parallel intelligence units within the framework of AI raised its head in the South African police services after Colonel Cronje's complaint about the Major Offences Reaction Unit. So, as South Africans, we still don't have much clarity on that, and I believe the report into the investigation has been classified, so it then leads one to kind of put that as a point of further state involvement or state officials' involvement in delays and obstructions into investigations, which all in itself support a belief around state-involved torture. And the fact that the state is not transparent and accountable with regards to any of these inquiries or the Zondo Commission further supports belief, and this system really does need transparency and accountability. So I thought I'd put another video up there about parallel intelligence operations being run in multiple departments within the state government of South Africa, how this can be incredibly dangerous. If one looks at such things as the Chinese definition on an AI weapon, and then as a data subject we are exposed to vulnerabilities within the system in terms of the South African infrastructure being without transparency and accountability. So Yeah, I'm faced with continued aspects of harassment and discrimination and prejudice, specifically at the shelters and things, um, whereby at work I'm exposed to neural data breaches. So people will say specific things about the state capture and torture that obviously engages with what the United Nations has called hyperstimulation of data subjects, which can lead to depression and suicide, um, as one could see in Mark Minnie, the author of The Lost Boys of Bird Island. After he returned back from China, said he was being followed. It was another telltale warning sign of neural data breaches, um, which I thought was a possible factor in his situation. But yeah, it's continued, and I'm sort of at an end because the Interpol complaint was thrown away, and now I'm back on the street and subject to discrimination with regards to access to shelters. Um, so yeah, I wish the data subjects around the world all the best, and yeah, thanks again for your kind words and support. Um, Please feel free to drop us a comment if you're inclined. And otherwise, yeah, I hope to chat soon. All the best. Thank you. Bye.